مرحبا فيكم من جديد مشاهدينا. كيف بدأت العلاقات التاريخية القوية بين الدنمارك والإمارات؟ وما هو التأثير الإيجابي الكبير الذي أحدثته الإمارات على الجالية الدنماركية المتنوعة والمزدهرة هنا في الدولة؟
طبعا سعادة أندرس هانسن سفير مملكة الدنمارك لدى دولة الإمارات تحدث مع هالة بو علوان ضمن فقرة موطن الحلم والإنجاز عن تاريخ العلاقات الإماراتية الدنماركية، وأورد قصة شيقة حول إرسال الدنمارك عالمة آثار إلى العين بالستينيات، وكيف حصلت على شرف لقاء مؤسس دولة الإمارات الشيخ زايد بن سلطان آل نهيان طيب الله ثراه. نتابع.
بيسعدنا أنه يكون معنا اليوم سعادة أندرس هانسن سفير مملكة الدنمارك لدى دولة الإمارات. Good morning, Your Excellency. Great to have you here today.
Thank you very much, and thank you for inviting me to your show.
Thank you, thank you. Your Excellency, I heard this is your first time posted as an ambassador. Tell us about this journey. When did you land in the UAE, and how was it so far?
Yes, this is my first ambassadorship. I have exactly completed 2 years. I came in September 2022. I have a long background in the Danish Foreign Service, close to 25 years.
How does it feel as an ambassador? Just a curiosity actually it's a personal curiosity. As a first-time ambassador, what did you like mostly about this role? Was it more the multicultural exposure? Was it more the communication, the negotiation? Was it more learning? Was it more making things happen? Or politics, or diplomacy, or?
Or perhaps a combination of all of those things. First of all, it was wonderful to arrive here and to be received here with such warmth and dedication from the Emirati side. So I had a wonderful time stay right from the beginning. I think as an ambassador, it is very important and a very good experience to connect with the people here, to connect with the society, to connect with the official, and certainly also do what I can to promote the relations between the UAE and Denmark.
Your Excellency, mentioning diplomatic relations, we were just like chatting before we started this this interview, that you mentioned the relations goes way back in history. But then the embassy, I don't know which year, was opened here. If you can tell us about the journey, the diplomatic relations between both countries, when did it start? How did it start?
Well, first of all, Denmark recognized the UAE on 3rd January 1972, so our diplomatic relations that way go far back in time. In terms of the current embassy that we have now, it opened in 2010. So I'm the fourth ambassador this time around. But we also have a relationship which dates back before that. One very interesting element is that we had a Danish female archaeologist, Karen Fritlev, who was here in the 60s and part of the excavations in LA.
The 60s.
Yes. And she also had the honor to meet the founding father at the time. And I think this also testified to a very long Danish interest in this part of the world.
If everyone now know about the Kingdom of Denmark, there's many points of strength this country has, whether it's ranked so much high in terms of social welfare and well-being, whether it's, you were telling me also about entrepreneurships and startup, like they enable and empower others, whether in terms of energy, carbon emission, food, literature, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. What are the main strengths between both countries, United Arab Emirates and Denmark? How the strength from Denmark is brought here?
I think that's a very good question. I think there's a lot of pointers to that. First of all, we are both kingdoms. Yes. Denmark comes with a very long history of a kingdom of 1,000 years. We at the same time also very modern societies. We are societies which both score high when it comes to innovation, when it comes to digitalization. Denmark actually tops when it comes to a country to do business in. We are very high when it comes to using digital tools, both in public service and also for businesses. And I think that combination of those two things works very well in a society like this, which is so vibrant and so much on the beat, and at the same time also very strongly committed to its own history and traditional roots.
Yeah, of course. Actually, this leads me to the Danish community, which you just mentioned, and we mentioned like one of the oldest, actually, archaeologists, which goes back to the 60s, what you mentioned now to us, which is a fascinating story. The current Danish community, if you can give us a glimpse about it, how large it is, their backgrounds, what they are known for or aspire for, like where do you see them most in the United Arab Emirates?
Well, I think that just like, I think in a way which is also a mirror of how the society is here. We would have young people who might just be out of university and whatever they have as background, who come here because they want to experience this very vibrant, very open community and to make a future for themselves, to CEOs who are working in the business communities. So it's a wide range of professionals who are here. We have around 100 subsidiaries of Danish businesses here. So we have also expanding trade relations, which have been growing over the last couple of years. In terms of numbers, we estimate around plus 3,000 Danish people reside here. And
are they more located Abu Dhabi, Dubai, or spread all over UAE?
I mean, the vast majority of them would be here in Dubai, but they're all over the different Emirates, but most of them here in Dubai.
And Your Excellency, question like going back to the relations between United Arab Emirates and Denmark, and talking about the lots of strength, the huge list which Denmark is known for, and the United Arab Emirates, so two strong countries. What are like tangible certain projects or success stories you would like to mention between both countries? Is it more in technology? Is it more in food? Is it more in energy? Where do you see, like, if you can give us like a feel of what's going on?
I think, and it's a very good question. I think that also with my experience here in the 2 years, I would say everything connected to COP28 was, I think, a very strong testament to a very close relationship between two countries, both very committed to combating climate change. We had very close cooperation between Denmark and the UAE leading up to COP28 and during COP28. So I think that would be one particular area. So anything to do with green technology is one particular area of strength that we have strong cooperation within.
Yeah, by the way, Denmark is called the Green City, or Copenhagen is called. There's a green city, right? It's nominated because of your involvement or passion and initiatives for environment projects, right?
Yes.
It was nominated.
And I think especially in Copenhagen, which I've lived in Copenhagen for many years, Copenhagen is in many ways a very green city. People bike around. We work very systematically both in Copenhagen, Denmark as such, in terms of living up to our commitments when it comes to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We have, as a government, Denmark has made a commitment to reduce by 70% by 2030 and be carbon neutral by 2050. So this is very much on our agenda, and this is also an area that we work with within our work in public diplomacy here in the UAE. Yeah. I'll give you a concrete example which I thought was very telling. We hosted a cooking event, sustainable cooking, where we had invited young Emiratis, both boys and girls, to
what an idea.
To actually find out about how can you do sustainable cooking, how can you avoid food wastes and so on.
I would love to learn that. When was the class?
When was the class? It was back in May this year. And what I really found amazing was how committed these young people were to actually participate in this. And I've got so many requests on LinkedIn and so on and so forth with everyone who participated in this. So I think that those areas where we can make and help creating awareness about how we can protect our environment, how we can protect our planet. Another area that we want to work with and also to engage with is on biodiversity.
Yes.
So I think as an embassy that whatever we can do in trying to also put focus on these topics is very important for us.
That's actually wonderful topics, and I loved so much the food thing, like because thinking outside of the box, like thinking of sustainability in a different way than what we usually hear about, which is actually very creative. Your Excellency, you still have 2 years in this post. So you finished 2 years and 2 years to go.
Yes.
If I go fast forward now, 2 years from now, what would you like to feel when you're leaving UAE? We hope you don't leave it, but you can stay wherever you want.
Yes.
But like when you leave to your next assignment, when you turn back and say, I love that this is the legacy, this is what I aspired to achieve when I came here, and this is what I achieved. What would you aspire to achieve?
Well, I think, as you mentioned, I have been here for 2 years, and in a way you can say 2 years is a long time, but things have been going so incredibly fast. So what am I hoping for the next 2 years? I would really like to see a continuing close cooperation in the green field, as I mentioned. I would like us to expand also our trade relations. Our trade is increasing, but it can certainly go up further. And then I think we are both pragmatic countries, and I think we have a lot to offer in international cooperation.
Your Excellency Anders Hansen, thank you so much for being with us. I truly enjoyed our conversation. Thank you for being with us.
So did I. Thank you very much for having me on your show. Thank you.